You're listening to Living Free, your podcast for a life full of freedom and magic. I'm your host, Tanya Hirsch, and I hope that every time you listen, you feel a little bit more inspired to follow your intuition and to create a life beyond your wildest dreams. Welcome back to the Living Free podcast. I'm so excited for our interview today. I have Lena Brandt in the podcast, and we talk about the dark feminine. And it's a topic that's so powerful and empowering. And I guess it's one of the topics most of us are still avoiding because it sounds scary, it sounds messy, it sounds unknown. We don't know what we can expect if we open these doors to our dark side, to our wild side. But I can say from my own experience, it's the most liberating work you can do to feel really free from the inside, to really embody freedom. Because if you allow yourself to face your shadows, to integrate your shadows, you become unfuckable with. Your emotions have no power over you anymore. And it's been such a life upgrade for me to do this work. That's why I can't wait for you to listen to this. There's so much feminine magic and wisdom. And before we dive into this really amazing, powerful interview, I have an announcement to make. And it's, oh my God, I've been waiting for this moment for such a long time. I am going to launch my biggest online program so far. It's going to be a 3-month program starting on the 2nd of February for those who are ready. So this is not a program you join and maybe you're committed, maybe you're not. This is really just for those of you who are ready to transform their life, who are ready to make a change, to commit to their dreams, who just know that they're here for more. For those who feel the calling inside the soul, that there's something bigger waiting for them. It's called Living Free, the Journey. And it's my life mission, my vision in a really transformative coaching program. And I will tell you more about it in the next couple of weeks, but I just want to share a little bit about what this program is about and what you can expect to know if this is for you, because every single woman who's joining this program will leave as a different person. So it's really just for you if you're ready, if you're committed, and you know there's something waiting for you. You can already feel this soul whisper inside of you that there's more, but you don't know where to start and you don't know how to get there, or you even don't know what it is. And I still remember my first soul's whisper was a picture for me. I'm not a visual person, as I told you before, but I got this vision of a turquoise water, a white beach, and I don't know what it was. I just felt this longing to find this place. I could feel this is where I belong. And it was 10 years ago when it started. And these pictures, these visions became clearer and clearer over the years. And I still didn't know what to do with it. And I could see a cafe, I could see a yoga platform, I can see it's gonna be my retreat center one day, but I didn't know where this place was. And if you know my story, I've been traveling so much, especially to islands, because islands is my happy place, but I never found this place. And I was even doubting that it exists. And when I finally found out where this place was, my body reacted. My body just knew. And this is exactly the connection we will be creating in this journey. You will find out your big why, the reason why you're here, your purpose, why you came onto this earth, and what you're here to create for. You're here for a reason. You're here to share your magic. And as long as you're living out of alignment with your purpose, life can feel tough. Life can feel really hard, like a struggle, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. But as soon as you step into your purpose, and I can really tell it from my own life's experience, this journey has been really tough, but it's been so, so magical. And for the first time in my life, I feel like I'm home. I have arrived in the place I belong, and everything makes sense now. I feel why I never fit in Germany, why I never resonated with most of the people there, why I never felt comfortable in the cold, because my soul belongs here. And I finally found this place. And for some, it's not a place, it's a person. For some, it's finding yourself. For some, it's leaving a relationship you're in. For some, it means changing your career. All these things that require change, that require a big leap of faith, a trust into the unknown. This is what this journey is going to be about. So you will leave this journey, this 3 months deep dive, where we meet every single week live online and dive into the topic of the week. You will gain clarity on what it is that you want to create, the reason why you came here. You will dive deep. We're going to dive really deep to find out what it is that has been holding you back from living the life that you're here for, the life that's waiting for you on the other side. We're going to dive into all these aspects, all these shadows, all these limiting beliefs, all the things you are not. And we're going to shed them. We're going to let them go to see who you truly are. It's like a remembering process of your power, of your potential. You're going to connect to your intuition, to your own wisdom, so you become unfuckable with. You're going to leave this program as a different person. You are going to be the highest version of yourself when you leave this journey. And the third month, so the first month is on commitment and clarity. The second month is a deep dive and to release everything that you are not. You're basically just unlearning who you thought you are. This limit, this cage, we're gonna explode it to see your true essence and to embody this in all areas of your life. And the third month, we're gonna look what are the next step to really take aligned action that get you there. And I'm so excited for this. So if you feel the calling, I'm gonna link so if your soul is resonating with my words, even if your mind don't know what I'm talking about or does say, no, that's not for me, if something deep inside of you is resonating, this is my invitation to you for a journey that will change your life forever. A journey that will bring you back in alignment with who you truly are. Applications are open. Tell me about your vision, your dream, about what's been holding you back, and we see if this program is for you. As I said, we start on the 2nd of February, and we're gonna kick this journey off with a weekend, 3-day pleasure home retreat. This retreat opens your ability to receive pleasure and abundance, so you can really manifest your dreams more easily. Because this whole journey, as messy and as painful as it can also be pleasurable. And the more you integrate all those parts of you that you have been suppressing, as soon as you invite them in and you're not afraid of them anymore, it's an expansion of feeling alive, of feeling your wholeness, your magic, your light. And it also expands the capacity to receive pleasure. And I am really stepping into this version right now. And it's, oh my God, it feels so magical, so alive. And I can't wait to share the tools with you that got me there, to really open myself up to life, to all that is. And I cannot even find the words of how grateful I am to be here, of how much pleasure and magic and freedom I am experiencing right now. And I wish this feeling that I'm experiencing in this moment, in this chapter of my new life, for every single person, for every single woman that's ready for it. So if you say the journey is not for you, but the retreat sounds amazing, the retreat is going to be free for those who join the journey. And you can still join if you're not joining the online program, but then it's not for free. I will link all the details for the retreat, for the program in the show notes. And there's one last thing I would like to announce before we dive into the interview. On the 2nd of January, I will be guiding a new moon ritual. This event is going to be free, so you can join, and you will get crystal clear on what you want to create in 2022, because this year, this next chapter is going to be freaking amazing. This new year, 2022, I can already feel how much power it has to create the life of your wildest dreams. This is the time you are ready for it. And join us on the 2nd of January for the new moon ritual to see if you're new to my work, if this is resonating for you. And if you feel the call, application is open, the early bird prize is here, apply for it. And I can't wait to meet all those beautiful souls who are ready. And I can't wait to see their transformation. And there's one last thing, on the 18th of December, I'm gonna guide my biggest full moon ceremony of the year. Who joined last year knows how powerful it is to close the year with integrity, with reflection, to integrate everything that we learned throughout the year, all the blessings, all the hardship, everything we are ready to let go. We're going to burn it in a fire ritual. And this really helps you to close this year that has been very intense for all of us, to move into the new year with integrity, with clarity, with freedom, to create a space for something new, for something bigger, for something more magical. So join us if you want on the 18th of December inside the Living Free Sister community. I will link all those things in the show notes. And now we're gonna dive into this amazing, amazing interview with Lena Brandt. She is a priestess. She's an embodied woman who really does the work, and you can feel it in her being. She is authentic. She shares her truth. She's deep. She's all the juicy things of an embodied woman. And she holds women's circuits in Munich. She does rituals and ceremonies, and I can't wait for you to listen to this powerful, magical conversation. So without further ado, let's welcome Lena Brandt to the podcast. So welcome to the podcast, Lena. I'm so happy we finally made it.
Me too. Thanks for having me. I'm very, very excited and a little bit nervous, but mostly very, very excited.
Me too. Yeah, we had to postpone this interview 3 times. So this time is the day we're interviewing this. And the first question to start this interview with, I would like to ask you, what does living free mean to you?
Ooh, that's a good question for a start. Living free means to me to express myself fully and authentically, and to be able to show up in the world as my truest self, and to explore and to be able to explore all of these aspects of my truest self. Yeah, I think I would say living free is mostly something internal for me. So do I allow myself to show up fully and to express myself fully? And yeah, I would say this means living free for me.
So powerful, and I really feel you're living that. Just saying it, you're really embodying it. When you speak, I could feel it in the workshop that you're really living from that place of authenticity and showing up, even if it's painful, even if it's scary. You stay true to yourself.
I'm glad that can be you see it from the outside as well. Thank you.
And today we're going to speak about a topic that's very dear to our hearts, the dark feminine. And if you never worked with the dark feminine, it can sound scary. Like, I was running away from this topic and from shadow work for a very long time because I thought I had no idea what it was, and it felt scary and intimidating. But as soon as we dive into it, we can feel the power of the liberation from inside, to really feel this feeling you were just talking about, to feel free because you're not running away from your own feelings anymore, from your own fears. So before we dive into this really powerful topic, I would like to know your personal story about the dark feminine. When did you discover this side of yourself that is within every single woman?
Beautiful question. I think the journey started in the kind of year 2019 when I went on a 2-month journey, long vacation to Guatemala, Mexico, and Bali, and this was kind of a very spiritual journey for me. I didn't plan it that way, but as it oftentimes, most of the times, happens with this spiritual experiences and really getting to know your true self. It comes when it's time for that. And so I went on this journey, and I sat with plant medicines, and I sat with communities different than to the communities I experienced here before. And I didn't have really this specific moment like sitting in a women's circle, but I came back, and I felt like this whole 2 months had just opened another side of myself, like this, like the door was maybe opened like this before, and when I came back it was like, oh, okay, ooh, there's so much more, and let's see what it is. And I wasn't not to this moment, I wasn't really aware that it's this dark of energy and force that is slowly coming to the surface. I just knew that there's something more. And then in the past 2 years, when I started my regular women's circles and explored all these different aspects of being a woman, then this story about the feminine, the dark side of the feminine, I came across it here and there and in different books, and especially in the book, I bet you know, The Women Who Run with the Wolves. Such a powerful, wise, inspiring book. And I think this was had a lot of impact on me and had a lot of influence in discovering all these different aspects. And the dark side, this dark raw energy was one of them. And so I dove into this topic and this part of us women here and there, and would also say that maybe also experiences like heartbreak, like this dark moments in our lives, maybe just a little heartbreak or these really shattering, devastating moments, also brought me more in contact with this side of myself, this raw, this messy, allowing myself to fall apart fully. And I would say the past 2 years have been a quite explorative journey to the darker side of the feminine.
So powerful. I just had full body goosebumps when you were talking about it. And how would you say it changed your life when you allowed yourself to go to these places, to open this door even more and to allow all of you in, to not push it away, but to really integrate everything that you are?
By doing this, I felt like, showing up more authentically and expressing myself in a in a new way, in a whole way. So I felt that, and I really not only felt, but I really experienced in the outside world that things that didn't align anymore with this wholeness and with this all these different parts of myself fell away, and I quit this one job and I got a new job, and I switched path, and I followed different path, and so I think as soon as we allow ourselves to express ourselves more fully and to get in touch with our true nature and what we really want and who we really are, and then the outside world will change accordingly. So you meet different people and you start new projects, and oftentimes without really having the intention, like I want to do this and I set this and that goal, but it's just like, it's coming because I am opening up the space for it.
Totally.
Yeah.
So beautiful. And like you said, it's really something that opens the door to feeling whole and feeling free from inside. It's so liberating, but it's also, I think it's connected to, like you said, to the changes in the outer world. Did you lose friends on this journey? Like, did people fall apart as well, or was it more your job and your path and your destination?
I would say I have a quite so I, of course, I have a broad kind of community, but the friends really close and dear to me are countable. So I would say that I was lucky to, even before I went on that journey, that I had friends very close to me who followed kind of a similar path. And so we almost went on this journey together, and they could really understand what I was going through. And they also, some of them weren't on the path. They accepted me for this new me. And this was very beautiful to experience, because I have two friends of mine who I've been friends with for a very, very long time. And just like a couple of weeks ago, we talked about how long we've been friends for and how many changes we experienced in the other, and how beautiful it is that when and how lucky and how grateful we are that we really accept just the core essence of ourselves. And we know that just because I'm doing this now and did that before, it doesn't change who I'm inside. And I think you then know the people who really know you. But to answer your question there, I was quite lucky that I didn't have to cut cords with a lot of people. So I was more lucky to have new people come into my life because of that. So the changing was more on the job path, this job side of life. So whole work realm changed, and
Just because I'm curious, from what did you change? Like from which job to another?
So I changed from, I worked 5 years at a communication and event agency. And it was a small company, and yet very, it was sometimes more like family, and it was a very aware company. But still, we had to make money, and I was just like a project manager. And at the end, it just didn't feel aligned. Right? I guess you know what I mean. Although I wasn't brave enough to take the step myself, so I got laid off. And in hindsight, I can say it was the best thing that could happen to me, because then I really had the time, and I gave myself the time, and I allowed myself to really take the time to explore what I want to do next. And then I discovered that I want to work more with people, and that I really want to build a bridge between the spiritual and the mundane world, and the workplace and the ritual space. And so now I'm at this small collective whose shared vision it is to make business more human. And there I really can bring in my all the sacred tools and all the ritual tools, because currently I'm working there on ritual design at the workplace, and this just feels so crazy aligned and beautiful. And but it was who am I kidding? It's not an easy time when we're talking about the dark side. It's always letting go of things, and also being with the unknown, right? With this liminal dark space. And I was there because it was about almost 10 months between the two jobs. And of course there was a phase in it where I was like, I have no idea what's coming next.
Yeah, that's the most scary part. You have to trust, even if you lose your identity in the moment, that what comes out on the other side is beautiful, because it doesn't feel like it when you're in this cocoon phase where you don't know you're gonna be a butterfly, but you in this dark place, and then keep on going one step after the other, and in the end it always pays off if you trust. But it's something that doesn't come natural to us, I believe. So for those who are listening and they are new to this topic and they're not really sure what we're talking about with the dark feminine, can you dive a little bit into the aspects of the dark feminine?
Yeah, of course. The dark feminine. There's so many, it's just so many beautiful aspects to it. And also when we look at it from the outside, I would say also so many ugly aspects, right? Because the dark side of the feminine is this energy, this raw, this primal energy. It is messy, it's chaotic, it is untamed, it is destructive. It's, as I read a couple days ago, it is it likes to burn down empires, as it said.
It's a nice.
Oh, yeah, that's it. But it's also it is this energy that is so empowered and so rooted deep into the earth, and rooted into her strength, into her power, into her inner wisdom. And she is the one who stands up for herself, for others, for injustice, who is just really, I think when we all close our eyes and just feel deep into it, there's this, maybe it's a bigger, but sometimes it's just this tiny little spark we come across where we know there's just this knowing that we are untamed, that that's this energy that can't be caged. She who knows, and she who's a cyclical being, who knows that things have to be destroyed in order to create anew, that we have to burn things down in order to rise from the ashes. And this is such a powerful energy. And there are of course different archetypes and goddesses that embody these energies. Like some might know of the listeners, the Indian goddess Kali, this black skin and her tongue out, and she looks like she's just screaming, and she has this skirt made of skulls, and she has balls around her neck hanging on a chain, and you look at her and it's like, oh my god. But then you're like, oh yeah, I want to be that too. I want to just stomp my feet on the ground and say, no more. I am able to set boundaries and to stand my own sacred ground. So this is
so
this
powerful.
Energy.
Do you know the story of Kali a little bit? Like, why is she wearing these skirts around her waist?
Oh my God, wait, let me.
I always forget it too. I've read it so many times.
Me too. I'm just looking at. I was. I'm not sure if I get it right. What I remember correctly is that she was made out of. There was a fight going on. Of course, always there's a fight going on. And like good against bad. And I think she was then made from the mother goddess Durga. She is the mother of it all. And when I remember correctly, but I'm not sure, she was made out of, they said to be that Kali was made out of the eyebrow of Durga in order to help fight the demons. And so she came and she killed all of them, and she wears them proudly on her skirt, and she has this cut off head in her hands mostly when she's pictured, and her foot is standing on not sure, on a god as well, like saying, so this is the feminine and power is empowered, and she is standing on the masculine, and she is taking the power back. Yeah. So, but like with most of the stories of the deities in India, it's like there was war and we needed someone to come in and win this thing for us.
So powerful. And this picture really represents for me what's happening right now. I have the feeling the feminine is rising. We get our power back. And I understand now why they took it away from us, why they burned the witches, the women with intuition, because it is beyond powerful. And a woman in her power that's connected to her body, to her cycle, she's unfuckable with. Like if you allow yourself to feel everything and to integrate these dark aspects, nothing can touch you, really. You are so in your power in your life that, yeah, it gives me goosebumps just thinking about women really remembering this intuition and this power and this magic that we are. We can literally create a soul in our body. We can create life. So we can use the same energy to create goodness in the world, to create projects that come from a heart space and not from from these money-based businesses that just destroy nature. I think when the feminine is rising, which is happening right now, it's when the world will heal finally, because it needs a lot of healing.
Oh yeah, it does. And it also needs this dark side of us in order to not only heal it, and of course there's a lot of mothering that has to be done, but also a lot of no more.
Yes.
This is enough. And I love what you just said, that it's about remembering, because we have it inside of us. It's there from the beginning on. It's just like the light side and the easy and the beautiful and pretty. And I mean, I don't want it. This is such a beautiful side as well, but we need both in order to become whole.
Yes.
And we just need to remember that it's inside of us and that we can bring it out and we don't have to be afraid of it.
Yes, so true. And I think I was running away from it for a very long time. I was always in the light and the butterflies, and I really locked these parts away. I thought that's just not me, but in reality, I didn't want to look at them because I was afraid. And it was also during an ayahuasca ceremony where I saw these beautiful pictures and these amazing colors, and I saw the color of my soul, which was beautiful. But I also saw really dark pictures, like snakes, black snakes, really muddy, crawling around. But deep inside, I was just observing with such a feeling of peace. And these pictures really showed me everything is part of the whole, the dark and the light. It's all part of who we are, and there's no reason to run away from it, because there's no light without shadow, and we need both to feel whole. If we're just chasing the light, we can never feel truly free because we're still running away, and we still know there's something waiting deep down, and we're always afraid it could come up. The door could open a little bit. And what I also do with my clients, we open the door, we empower ourselves first to be ready for it, and then we face these demons. And then first they can be massive and intimidating, and then after a while, when we really look at them and look at the message why they are even there and integrate them, you see they are actually friends. They're here to say they want to protect you, and they have a story. There's a reason why we have them. And when we look at them and integrate them and love them, they don't have power over us. And that's why this work is so beyond words powerful, because there's nothing we have to be afraid of. And so many limitations fall just by doing this work, they fall away. Everything that's not in alignment with who we truly are, because then we are whole, that can't exist anymore. It's just not possible, I think. So there's a lot of goddesses. Yeah. There's a lot of goddesses related to the dark feminine. And there's also, can we say, spirit animals connected to it? Like the metamorphosis of the butterfly really represents this procedure, and also the snake. Can you dive into the process of the shedding process of the snake? I'm wearing her today. Can you see it?
Oh,
It's my spirit.
Oh yeah.
It's my spirit animal. I attract snakes everywhere.
Oh. Yeah. For you, I hope you're not afraid of that. Right by now, you're not afraid anymore of them,
No,
right?
I'm always like, oh, I'm on the right path when I see a snake.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. This the shedding of the skin of snakes. It's such a powerful metaphor, I think, because it really. When I talk about it, when I think about it, I can just like really feel it. And I think many of us can feel this when skin becomes too tight, when identities become too tight, when jobs don't feel aligned anymore, when relationships don't feel right anymore. And we can really feel it in our body, right? Like this, then maybe we have pain in the shoulders or in the lower back, and so many times it's this pain that it just doesn't fit us anymore, that it's just not right anymore, that we need to let go of this. We need to shed the skin, and this is like for the snake, it's not something like and it's gone, bye, like taking off a coat, but it's this process. This just takes time, it takes patience, and it's painful, and it's messy, and it doesn't look good. I mean, when does shedding your skin look good? It's like this, oh God, this has to go, and I don't want to let go of it. And then everything is gone, and we are standing there like naked and vulnerable, and this, like we talked before, in this in-between space where, like, okay, I'm not this person anymore. I'm not in this relationship or in this job or in this identity anymore, but I'm not there yet because we don't have yet grown any new skin. So we're raw and naked and vulnerable, and then we're standing there, and this is this magical moment which we take so much surrender to see it at this magical as this magical moment where we can just get in touch with our truest essence, because everything else just fell away, and we're here and in this darkness, and there's this little amber, and it's glowing in the dark. It's like, okay, this is it, okay, and it's going to show me the way. And then step by step, the new skin is growing, and it's just like, oh, this looks good. This feels good. I can move freely now, and I can really feel it. Yes. And I think so often we forget this embodiment part. Like, it's not only a thing that's now had in our minds, but we can feel it in our body, this whole process. And yeah, how it feels before, in between, and in the end. And when we, like you said before, like when we rise out of it and when we have this new skin and we just feel liberated and free, and we can maybe breathe again for the first time, like, it's good. And so I think this is, in my opinion, such a powerful picture that I just love to come back to, of this shedding of the skin and being with it. And also not, I'm not sure, and this part I'm not sure of how snakes really do this. Like when they shed the skin, they would, I mean, oftentimes we just see the skin, then the old skin laying around. And this is something that we can also kind of adapt for ourselves, in either in a form that is tangible, but also if it's an identity or a habit, a pattern we let go of, that we take it then metaphorically into our hands, and we look at it and we grieve it, and we say, okay, this is the relationship, the job, the part of me that I'm now letting go of, that I already let go of, and I don't know where to go, but I have it here, and it's okay to be sad and to be afraid of what comes next. And I think it's so needed that we again feel, like you said, all of it, that we take the time to tend to this loss. Although sometimes it might be a good thing, a step we intentionally did, but still there is a loss.
Yes.
And yeah, tending to that. And maybe the snake does that as well. I don't know.
Thank you so much for sharing. It's such a powerful picture. And everyone who has been through this process, I felt it when you were speaking about it. And also the part where you said to integrate and to grieve this version of who we are. Maybe we've been like the people pleaser for 32 years, like I was. And then I came here and I went through this huge rebirth, and it was messy and it was painful. And I didn't know what would come out of the other side, but it was necessary for me to begin this new life here on this island on the other side of the world. It was necessary for me to really embody who I am. And the crazy thing is, it feels so natural, because this people-pleasing part was just conditioned because of trauma and past experiences that thought I always have to please everyone, but I don't. And it's such a relief to see I don't need to please anyone. I am my own hero in my life. Like, and it's crazy because the snake you were talking about, I'm always wearing it, not always, but sometimes on my ear, because it remembers me of my first spirit animal journey. Actually, it was the fourth one, but it was the first one I could see my spirit animal, because I'm not visual. So the first 3 journeys, I couldn't see anything. And I already thought, maybe I don't have a spirit animal. And on the first one, I could see the snake crawling around my feet, and then it was going a little bit further, and then it showed me. It shed the old skin in front of me, and it left it behind. And it showed me, you are ready to release these patterns. You are ready. You already have the new skin. You just have to find the courage to finally let go of who you are not. And it gives me goosebumps, because the next day, this was a few years ago, I had the first, really in my whole life, the first emotional and open conversation with my mom. And we never went further than, how are you? Good, how are you? But in this moment, the space was open, and we talked about, I could tell her everything I thought I could never tell her, everything that I went through in my childhood, everything I wish would have been different, or how I am the person I am today because of what happened, not by making her blame for it, but to just talk vulnerable about it. And she did the same, and it changed so much. And I remember it like it was yesterday. It was the hottest day of the year. So my apartment in Munich was really hot, 30 degrees, sweating. But when we spoke these things, we had goosebumps, and the whole room was ice cold. And it felt like this generational coldness of our mother wound. Like my generation of women, there has been this coldness passed on, this emotional block And I would have passed that on as well if I didn't heal it. I know I would have been emotional unavailable myself if I didn't look at these aspects. And it felt like it came out, this coldness was released, and it was so powerful, and it changed the relationship a lot with my mom.
Wow. Wow. Beautiful. What a powerful, healing, and very, very beautiful story.
Yeah, it was very special.
The snake gave you maybe just this little bit of strength you needed to go there, right?
It showed me it's possible.
Yeah, it just showed you like it's all already inside of you.
Yes, so true.
Wow.
So the snake, there's another one, the butterfly. I really love the picture of the metamorphosis of the butterfly. Would you like to talk a little bit about this process? It's similar to the snake, I think, but it has other beautiful qualities, like the image of the butterfly flying is so beautiful.
Yeah, true. I think it's even more of an metamorphosis, like it's the shape shifting, right? I mean, the snake is still a snake, which doesn't mean it's not different than before, but I mean, as an image, it's even more powerful with the butterfly. It's the caterpillar, and then it goes into the cocoon and it stays in there, and it has no idea what's happening. It's quite interesting, right? Does it have any idea what's happening? I think it doesn't. maybe deep inside it knows that whatever is happening, it is, of course, it is destined to happen. But I'm not. It would be interesting to see if it really knows, or if it's just like this deep surrender to nature, and to the process of nature, and to the cycle and to the rhythm of nature. Like it just deep inside. Yeah, I think deep inside, I believe that the caterpillar knows this is now what's going to happen, and I just trust.
Yes.
I trust and surrender darkness, and I give it all up, and I have no idea how I will come out, but I know that it will be freaking amazing. I think the caterpillar just like goes in this phase, in this darkness, in this phase of the darkness, and it trusts, it surrenders to this process, to this alchemical process, right? Because it's, I mean, alchemy is always this, we get this one part in and we get something totally different out. And so he's in there and he has no idea what's going to happen, how long it will take, but he just surrenders to it. And maybe I could imagine that it's something when, like, for us as humans, we would be in this space and just like resistance, and I don't want to be here. I mean, for me personally, it's often like this. It's like, okay, I easily surrender to this unknown. It's just like, oh, I don't want that. I'm afraid, and then I'm excited, and then I'm resistant, and it's like, oh, and maybe this caterpillar is also in his little cocoon and just like, oh, I want to get out of here, but
what's happening?
And then after the right amount of time, the right amount which the nature just sets, he comes out of this space and it's like, he's this butterfly, and it's colorful and totally different and totally new, and he opens, and maybe and I could imagine that is for many of us like the same, like when we find this new identity in us, or we get into a new relationship and a new job, and inside we deeply know that it's exactly what we should do, but still like the butterfly, it's like maybe he's looking at his wings like, what am I, this is how it's working, okay. Beautiful color. And I just, when I really think about it and let this sink in, it really resonates with me and with experiences in my life, when I thought, okay, this is a new new side, a new aspect, and then we are exploring this, right? It's not like that we decide now I'm gonna bring out the dark side inside of me, and I'm gonna be this whole powerful feminine being. But it's like I see, I'm opening the door and I'm exploring this side, like the butterfly does with his wings and with his colors, and being this whole new person. The longer I talk about it, the more I like the picture. Yeah, it's the same. It's a quite similar process to the snake, but at the same time totally different.
Same but different, yes. And I also find it fascinating in the caterpillar process. If you would cut it, it would be completely liquid. It would drop out. So it loses completely its identity. And then when it grows, when you watch it, it needs strength. It looks painful when it opens the wings to uncage the cocoon. And you would like to help the butterfly, but it needs the growing pain to be able to fly. If you would cut it out and help the butterfly, it would not be able to fly. And that's exactly what we are going through. No one can do this work for us. You can have mentors, coaches that have been through it to guide you through it, but you can never, no one can do it for you. The work has always been done within ourselves. And when we do it, when we feel the pain, we feel the blood, we feel the tears, then the butterfly is what comes out of the other side.
Yeah, and this is what makes us, like I said, makes us stronger, right? Yes. This is where we can find the strength, our medicine in the hardships, in the things we face, and the challenges we go through.
Yes.
And this is what develops our inner strength. I like the picture. Nature is just freaking amazing. It's like, I kind of just blows my mind every time and time again.
I also, it never stops. We can learn everything from nature. The other day I was sitting in meditation and I looked at a flower, and I'm a very impatient person. I want to know everything and I want to have it now. And I'm not good in waiting and being patient. If I know what I want it now. But looking at this flower, I realized you would never force this flower to grow faster. You would like pull the pillars to grow faster. You just know it's in divine timing when it's going to blossom in its unique way, and it's sometimes it closes again and then it blossoms. There's no need for us to be impatient, but the trusting aspect is the most important part and the hardest part, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
because it also is kind of an ego death. If we jump into the unknown, it's like the most scary thing for our ego. It wants to keep us safe, and even if safe means being really unhappy and caged, it still is something we know what's going to happen. So the ego makes sure we stay in it, and then we decide to step out of it, to grow, to shed the skin, to become this butterfly. The ego's like, whoa, what are you doing? This is scary, and I'm gonna make it really hard for you to get into the state because I want to keep you safe. That's why it's so hard sometimes. But it's possible.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is so hard. And at the same time, like, I think we so many times are just like, this is just trying to keep me safe and small and so, but at the same time, I think it's also beautiful and healing and necessary to thank these parts that want to keep us safe, right?
Yes.
Like just to say, I know you just want to keep me safe. Thank you for that. But I no longer need you to keep me safe. And now we're going to reprogram this whole thing, and we're going to be attracted to things that are more aligned with me, not the things and the people and the jobs that resonate with me because of old wounds and patterns and blah, 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 but because they feel really, really good. But it's, as you said, such a, yeah, such a long process that demands a lot of patience and a lot of reworking, like the spiral, right? Like just like in nature, it's a cyclical process. It's a spiral process.
Yes.
Mm.
So true. So
Mhm.
powerful. Do you have a tip for someone who has never opened this door? For someone who says, this sounds interesting, this is something that I need. How can you start this process of looking at to explore your dark feminine?
Mm. I think depending on what resonates mostly with you, it could be just diving into literature about this whole topic, like really exploring the topic from with this in this way, just reading about it, seeing what it, and always checking in again and again. How does it make you feel? Does it resonate with you? And then what parts of it do especially resonate with you? Maybe you going to take part in a women's circle, because I've, in my opinion, this safe space where just women come together with this intention of showing up authentically and exploring all the different aspects of being a woman, yeah, makes it easier to go into this unknown and to explore these unknown spaces. um, and then maybe also it could be in a kind of a reflection process to find just one aspect in your life where you maybe are too nice. Like, is it at work, is it in a partnership, is it with your friends? And then start there, and maybe it is that you start to set boundaries, that you start to speak up, stand your ground, just like in small steps. We don't have to open the door like this wide from this to there. Just really, okay, this could be, means, okay. And then maybe it's also listening to music or dancing, intuitively dancing. Turn up the music, dance, scream, shake it out, bring it up to the surface. Like, it's, for many of us, for many women, it's buried so deep inside of us that it just takes time to bring it up to the surface, bit by bit by bit. And in my opinion, working with the body, like really embodiment, like not thinking about it too much, but working with our bodies and feeling it. How does it feel? How does anger feel inside myself? How does it feel to embody rage and to embody chaos and messiness and madness and stomping my feet literally on the ground?
Yes, so powerful.
All these just tiny little tools that we can start and find a starting point, an initiative point to explore more, and open the door a little wider and a little wider and a little.
Yes. So powerful. Thank you for sharing. And I also think
You're welcome, of course.
Becoming aware of our numbing patterns, like our protection layers. For example, if you notice, actually I'm angry, but I don't allow myself to go there. And then looking, what am I doing? Am I checking my phone? Am I eating? Am I swallowing it down? Am I doing excessive sport, going on social media, like all these, do I drink? Do I meet people just to be distracted, to not feel this emotion? And if you're aware of it and you're still scared, I think the most powerful thing is to get a mentor or a coach who has been through it to guide you along the way, because they know how it feels, how messy it can be, and they can guide you to help, to create a space for you to allow these emotions to be there and to look at them, to see the message so it doesn't have power over you.
Yeah. This is, of course, also beautiful to get help, to get support, help and support in this. People who've been on this, other women who've been on this way already, and learn from them, be with them, simply by being with others who have walked this path before us is so inspiring.
Yes. And we see we're not alone. Sometimes we think we're alone, but we are not. Everyone is just being human.
But I totally agree with what you said about this numbing and to become more and more aware of when we do this. And also because just today I had the conversation with a good friend of mine about the both of us not allowing us to be angry. So feel the anger coming up. We're angry at someone, and just like I was yesterday in my bathtub, and I was in the shower, and I was like, oh, I'm so angry, and I'm just this really messes with me, and I don't like how this person behaved. And then the next day I just find myself like over explaining why I'm now distancing myself and trying to create harmony. And I told her about it, and she just and this is why other women are so empowering when they witness us and they mirror us. Because she was just really calling me out. She was like, no, I'm not allowing you to send this message to this person because this person doesn't deserve it, one. And two, you can just stand up for yourself and and really stand at your sacred ground and be the F angry.
Yes.
And we were both like, this is something I'm not used to be and not used to embody. It's like just this like 10 minutes. I allow myself 10 minutes of anger, and then I mean I can cry for days. Like sadness, okay. But anger is like, oh no, I want harmony and people pleasing and like, oh my God.
Yes. Oh my God. So true. The last interview we were supposed to have, like the third appointment we made, this was exactly what happened to me. And I used to do the same, like to find reasons why, and to even find the reasons within myself, like it's not her fault, she's busy. And then when I arrived here, I could feel all this rage that has been suppressed for years coming up. Like it has been bubbling up before, but it felt like a wave, just noticing really honestly who I'm angry with or who I'm disappointed, why I'm sad. And I allowed it to be there. Sometimes I would dive into the pool and scream. I would dive into the ocean and scream as loud as I can. Or I would dance and tears would run down my eyes. I would punch a pillow. I would really express this emotion that I didn't know how to handle before. And it felt so liberating. Oh my God, it felt like it felt like the cage has been exploded, and now my ability to receive, oh my God, it's been expanded. I receive pleasure now in so many more little moments because the energy can flow now, because that's what I think happens if we suppress some emotions. It prevents us from feeling the emotion that we're so scared of or don't know how to handle, but it also prevents us from the joy, from the ease, from the pleasure, from the excitement, from feeling alive. So that's why I'm so passionate about this. And I'm so happy we dived into this topic, because it's, even if it can be messy and dark and painful, it's so liberating, and it's an up-leveling of feeling alive, of having this human experience. Thank you so much. I would like to close this interview with a final question, and you can close your eyes for this one. So imagine you meet a younger version of yourself that hasn't done this shadow work. Maybe there comes a certain moment, a certain age, can be a childhood moment, an adulthood moment, a version that lies in the past. And you, as your embodied woman that you are today, you meet this younger version and you see her struggling, and there's one message you can give her, what would you say to her that you know now that has helped you so much, but you didn't know back then?
Mm. Ah, ooh. Mm. The first thing that comes to my mind is I would tell her to stop making herself small, and that she can shine her light, and that she won't dim the light of others. She just won't invite others to do the same, because the brighter she shines, the more people can warm themselves on her light, and she just invites others to do the same.
What
Don't
age
make it
came up? Yes. What was the age you saw? What moment?
This is I don't have a specific age, but it came to me like somewhere in the teenage years, when the unfolding really happens.
Yes.
So
oh my God, this is so crazy, because I just thought about what I would answer to this question when someone would ask me before we started this interview, and it's exactly the same answer. Exactly the same. Oh, because this is what we do. We dim our lights to make others feel comfortable. And looking back now, when I'm stepping back into my power, I can feel how many times I allowed myself to dim my light because others couldn't handle it. And it's so sad. And it's exactly what I would tell my younger self too. Don't be afraid to shine your light, even if it means losing people, because I lost a lot of people in this journey, but it wasn't the right people for me. Because when you shine, there's also people who want a piece of your light, that don't feel inspired. They just want to dim it. They want to take it away. Yeah.
And it's intimidated by it.
Yes.
But most of the times it's because they haven't found the light inside themselves yet, right?
Yes.
They're just jealous. They want to
oh my
do that
God,
themselves, but
that's a sisterhood wound I was confronted so much growing up, like jealousy, greed of other women. Yes. And I don't accept this anymore. Like if I feel someone is not authentic and doesn't feel happy for what I'm becoming, it's just not a value I can coexist with anymore. It's not possible for me.
Powerful.
Thank you so much. I love this interview. I had so many goosebumps moments. And
wow, thank you for diving in this great topic with me. It's like keeps coming back, this topic, and I was just in bed a couple of days ago and late at night. I was like, maybe I have to do more with this topic. There's something like
yes.
See what
I think so, because it's so important, and we need more of this. We need more integration, more wholeness, more empowerment.
Yeah.
So how can people find your magic, work with you, follow you?
Yes, they can find me on my website, which is Lena with an I, lenibrandt.com. Also, of course, on Instagram, it's at Leni with 2IB. This is where I share most of my work on my website, and on Instagram, where I share when events come up. They can. At the moment, I'm doing my women's circles live here in Munich. So I'm in Munich, Munich-based, and women in Munich, around Munich, are more than welcome to take part in these circles. I'm doing these circles. I'm a ritual designer, so if you would like to honor a specific moment, specific phase in your life with a certain special ritual, then I would love to accompany you on that. And yeah, at the moment I'm not quite sure what the next year will bring. So just get in touch with me and see what will come up. I will just really take this end of the year to refocus, to see what still feels aligned and what is allowed to fall away. And yeah, like with you, I saw that you redesigned your whole website, and just yesterday I was like, oh, this is what's on my agenda as well. It feels like, this doesn't just feel good anymore. Something has to change.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like the interior design. Sometimes you can't see the color of the wall anymore and you have to change it immediately.
Yeah.
Because
right
your website
is
yes. It's an expression of who you are. And because if you're in this growing process, you change so much that at one point you're just not in alignment with what you have created in the past. I threw off everything, like my book, my crafts, my articles, my blog, everything that's not me in this moment. I just removed it and it feels so good. It feels there's so much space now, because before there was all these different things. It was kind of chaotic. And now it's like, oof, I know what I want to create in 2022, and it's going to be powerful and magical. And now there's space, because before there wasn't.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Like with the dark feminine, right? With the thing, we need to burn down and to make space in order for new things to come in. Because when our storage is full of stuff, there's no place, no room for anything new to come in.
Yes, so true. Thank you. This was amazing. And yeah, we stay connected, and I link your links in the show notes, so make sure to follow Leni on her beautiful journey and follow her magic. I'll see you soon.
Yeah. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you. Your beautiful night.